God calls each of us to a life of purpose. He has a plan, a divine design for every single one of us. But fulfilling that purpose, walking in that design, requires something from us: dependability. Being dependable means being someone God can count on. It means being reliable, trustworthy, and steadfast in our commitment to Him. Dependability is not about perfection, it's about progress. It's about living to align our actions with God's will, day in and day out. We are called to be the salt of the earth, the light of the world. We are called to be ambassadors of His love, messengers of His grace. And how can we fulfill this calling if we are not dependable? How can we be effective instruments in His hands if we are inconsistent in our walk with Him? Dependability is not an option on the path to fulfilling God's will. It is a requirement. It is the bedrock upon which we build a life of purpose and meaning. It is the foundation upon which we establish our relationship with God and with others. So let us embrace dependability, not as a burden but as a blessing. Let us see it as a privilege, an honor to be found trustworthy by the Almighty. Inconsistency, my friends, is a dangerous foe. It creeps into our lives silently, subtly, often disguised as something less threatening. We tell ourselves it's just this once, or it doesn't really matter. But inconsistency, like a tiny crack in a dam, can lead to a flood of problems. When we are inconsistent in our relationship with God, our spiritual lives suffer. Our prayer life becomes sporadic, our time in His Word dwindles, our faith weakens, and slowly but surely we drift further away from the source of our strength. Inconsistency also impacts our relationships with others. When we are unreliable, we break trust. When we are unpredictable, we create chaos. We become a source of frustration and disappointment, not only to ourselves, but also to those around us. We are called to be pillars of strength, not shifting sands. We are called to be beacons of hope, not flickering flames. Inconsistency undermines our ability to live out our faith effectively. It hinders our growth and limits our impact. Let us be aware of the dangers of inconsistency and commit to living lives marked by steadfastness and unwavering faith. Let us be people of our word, people of integrity, people God can always depend on. Jesus tells a powerful parable in Luke chapter 16, verses 10 to 11, about the importance of faithfulness, the parable of the talents. In this story, a master entrusts his servants with different amounts of money or talents. To one he gives 5, to another 2, and to another 1. When the master returns, he asks his servants to account for what they have done with what he entrusted to them. The servants who were faithful with the little they were given were commended and rewarded. The servant who was unfaithful with the 1 talent he was given was condemned. This parable teaches us a profound lesson about dependability. God has entrusted each of us with unique gifts, talents, and resources. It's not about how much we have, but about what we do with what we have. Are we faithful with the little things? Are we using our gifts to serve others and bring glory to God? Faithfulness in the small things is the truest measure of our character. It is in the everyday moments, the seemingly insignificant tasks, that we demonstrate our dependability to God. When we are faithful in the small things, God can trust us with greater things. Let us strive to be faithful in all areas of our lives, both big and small. Let us use our time, talents, and resources wisely, knowing that we will one day give an account for how we have used them. Throughout the Scriptures, we find inspiring examples of men and women who embodied dependability. One such shining example is Moses, a man God called his friend, a man after his own heart. In Numbers chapter 12, verses 5 to 8, we see God's affirmation of Moses' faithfulness. My servant Moses is not like that. He is faithful in all my house. Moses faced immense challenges, leading the Israelites out of slavery in Egypt and through the wilderness. Yet through it all, he remained steadfast in his faith, unwavering in his obedience to God. What made Moses so special? What set him apart? It was his unwavering dependability. He was a man of integrity, a man who could be counted on to hear God's voice and obey his commands. He was a man who walked closely with God, seeking his guidance and strength in every situation. Moses' life is a testament to the power of faithfulness. He is a shining example of what it means to be dependable in the face of adversity, to remain steadfast in our commitment to God, even when the path is difficult. Let us learn from his example and be people of unwavering faith and obedience, people after God's own heart.